Good evening. My name is Andrea Warren, and I'm a staff analyst with the Housing and Community Development Department. The purpose of this meeting is to gather input that will inform the development of our plans and facilitate obtaining feedback next year on the plans that we created and that we will implement. Also, I want to just make a brief announcement. If you require interpretation services, if you could please raise your hand now so that we can be able to assist. Okay, without further ado, I will turn it over to District D Council Member Dr. Carolyn Evans Shabazz.
I need y'all to wake up. How y'all doing? Thank you, Andrea. I'm Councilmember Carolyn Evans Shabazz, a council member for District D, what I call the District of Destination. And because I can't hardly talk, those people over there gave me some candy, and I'm trying to get rid of it. So if I kind of sound a little funny, blame them. But certainly, good evening to everyone, and welcome to the District of Destination, District D. And again, I'm the council member, and I'm delighted to be here tonight. I want to thank the Housing and Community Development Department for hosting this important fall community event right here in Third Ward. Whenever we gather in spaces like this, neighbors, families, longtime residents, and even those joining us from other districts, because we're not selfish, we want everyone to get the information. So certainly it reminds me of the power of collective voices and shared commitment to our city's future. Tonight is about you, your ideas, your lived experiences, and your perspectives help shape our city and help us to prioritize housing investments, community programs, and the resources that directly affect residents across Houston. This is your opportunity to speak up, ask questions, and ensure your needs are reflected in the city's plan for the year ahead. To our District D residents, we thank you for always showing up. I see Ken Rogers over there, always showing up for your community. And to those visiting from other areas, I want to thank you for lending your voice and being a part of this important conversation. And I encourage everyone to be engaged, to be open, and let your voice be heard, because no one knows our communities better than the people who live, work, and care for them. So we don't want it to come back around and people have the opportunity to ask questions and they didn't, because this is a very important engagement. And I want to, again, thank you for being here. And then I'm going to now turn it back over to our HCD team to begin the program. And before I go, I hope everyone has a safe, joyful holiday season, and certainly we'll come back in the new year doing better things. So have a wonderful evening. And again, I'm Councilmember Carolyn Evans Shabazz, the council member for District D, what I call the what? District of Destination. All right.
And now bring to the stage our Deputy Director, Derek Sellers.
Good evening, everybody. Very special thank you to Councilmember Evan Shabazz for being with us this evening, and welcome again to our Fall 2025 community meetings. As Andrea said, I'm Derek Sellers, Deputy Director for the City of Houston's Housing and Community Development Department. We're proud to host this concluding fall community meeting here at the Third Ward Multi-Service Center in District D. Having your council member here underscores her unwavering commitment to this community, its people, its stories, and its future. These meetings matter because you matter. Every year, we look forward to coming together, hearing directly from the residents whose experiences, ideas, and perspectives shape the work that we do every day. And during this holiday season, the themes of connection, support, and community feel especially meaningful. They mirror the very foundation of our mission. At HCD, our goal is simple: to make thoughtful, equitable investments that support Houstonians' housing and community needs, building a city where everyone has the opportunity to thrive in safe, resilient homes and strong, vibrant neighborhoods. Tonight, we're here to reflect on what's been accomplished this past year and gather your insight to help guide our priorities for the year ahead. Your voice is essential. Diverse thoughts and lived experiences help us design programs and investments that truly meet the needs of our city. So please stay engaged. Add your ideas during the public comment session and participate fully in the discussion groups. We're here tonight to listen to you. Thank you all for being here and for contributing to this important conversation. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Andrea to take us through the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Deputy Director Sellers. Let's get started with the presentation. Today, we will begin with our agenda, which includes a brief overview of the Housing and Development Department, providing information on past year accomplishments, breakout group activity for all participants, public comments, and final remarks. The presentation slide deck and recording of this meeting will be available within the coming days on our website at www.houstontx.gov/housing and on our public hearing webpage at www.houstontx.gov/housing/public-hearing. Today is an awesome opportunity for resource sharing and for us to provide you a little more insight into the work that we do at HCD. Part of the important work we do involves developing and submitting annual planning documents to the federal government. These plans outline strategies for addressing housing challenges, reducing barriers to supportive services throughout the city. These documents are driven by input and feedback, demographics, and research. Let's dive into the presentation. Why are we here today? We are here today preparing our annual strategic planning document called the Annual Action Plan. We rely on data along with the input from residents and stakeholders like you to help shape these plans. To receive annual funding allocations from the federal government, we are required to prepare and submit this plan to HUD each year. The FY26 Annual Action Plan serves as the second action plan within our 5-year consolidated plan. Residents and stakeholders are at the center of everything we do. This graphic illustrates our grant process. As we've discussed, the process begins at the top with our 5-year consolidated plan, where we identify community needs, set priorities for the next 5 years, determine available resources, and lastly, establish goals for how we will invest our entitlement funds over the next 5 years. Then each year, we develop the annual action plan shown at the bottom, where we set specific goals for the upcoming year. From there, we administer the programs throughout the year, and once the year is complete, we evaluate our performance through the CAPER, better known as the Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report. As you can see, citizen participation is at the center of the entire process. We gather community input and feedback from Houstonians at every stage. Let's get more into detail about the timeline for developing our annual action plan. Every year, the city receives 4 federal formula grants from HUD. Those 4 federal formula grants include the Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, which is our most flexible funding that can be used to support a wide variety of activities. With CDBG funds, we repair homes, expand home ownership, provide public services, and improve and develop public facilities. Home Investments Partnerships Grant, or HOME, which can be used to build or rehabilitate affordable homes for renters and homeowners. Housing Opportunities for Persons with HIV, also referred to as HOPWA, provides housing and social services for persons with HIV and their families. And the Emergency Solutions Grant, or ESG, which is used for delivering shelter and supportive services for people experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness. Now we will discuss last year's accomplishments and how the work has impacted the community. In FY25, the city expanded housing options supported by vulnerable residents and delivered essential services. The department built 134 multifamily units. The pictures include rental units that were completed. Some projects include Sunrise Lofts and the Houston Women's Area Center, or better known as HAWK. The city expanded housing options across the city through home repair and home ownership initiatives, enabling us to assist 27 single-family homes and direct support for 42 homeowners as shown in the pictures. The city provided housing and supportive services to more than 14,600 people, including individuals affected by HIV and those experiencing homelessness. The city served an additional 6,321 residents who received various public services. This year, FY26, we received over $51 million through our 4 federal formula grants described earlier. HUD shared goals and plans at the March meeting and submitted the 5-year consolidated plan and FY26 annual action plan to HUD. Please note that given the ongoing federal funding uncertainties, we are unsure if we will be receiving a similar amount next year. In addition to the annual federal formula grants on the last slide, HUD recently approved the city's annual action plan for disaster recovery 2024, derecho and Hurricane Beryl. We received $109 million, which has been allocated for housing, $101 million for generators, $47 million for public safety and solid waste vehicles, $15 million for compliance, which all represents a strong investment in communities and Houstonians. Next, I would like to introduce Alan Issa, staff analyst, to lead us through our breakout group activity. Alan, you can take it from here.
All right. Thank you, Andrea, and good evening, everyone. My name is Alan Issa, and I will be facilitating this portion of the presentation. Before we begin, if we could consolidate maybe into 4 tables and have the volunteers join those tables, that would be great. Just a reminder, each table should have 1 facilitator and 1 note taker. I'm going to give you guys a minute or 2 to do so. All right. Now it seems like everybody's settled in. So next slide. Okay, great. Yeah, I'll be quickly going through tonight's activity called Let's Build a Budget. This activity will take approximately 20 minutes. In front of you is a budget sheet and a stack of money. With the guidance from the facilitator, you all will discuss how within the group and decide how you all want to allocate $50 million for various housing and community development programs. Each stack of money represents $5 million, so there should be 10 stacks totaling $50 million. At the end, each group will report out their decisions, allocations, and anything else that you would like to share with us. We hope to use the feedback from this activity to develop the 2026 annual action plan. We believe the more information we have and get from you all, the more successful our programs will be, so please stay engaged. Let's also discuss what kind of activities you can fund. This slide lists a rough estimate of what could be accomplished with $5 million. The same list is also available on your table as well. For example, $5 million will help build 20 single-family homes, or help build 100 multifamily new rental units, fund 1 infrastructure program, $5 million can also provide a variety of community development services to 7,500 people through various programs like a youth program, mental health program, child care program, health care service program, and employment training program, and provides services to 1,500 persons experiencing homelessness. Before starting the discussion, please also make sure to introduce your name, what neighborhood you live in, and why you came to the meeting today to the group. And lastly, I would like to ask everyone to be respectful. Please try not to interrupt anyone when they are speaking. We want everyone to feel free to share their thoughts and ideas and avoid any inflammatory language. Can we all agree on these ground rules? Yes? Yes? Awesome. Great. Thank you. So now I will start the time. Facilitators, please begin. Okay, we will start the report out. Group one, let's go with, whose group should we call on? Trang, your group, if you guys want to report out.
Good evening, everyone. We have a great group of community members with different backgrounds and purposes. They are advocates for better housing, for the youth services, and for green and sustainable housing. So we put $10 million towards single family for home repairs. It seems that there's a lack of funding for single family home repairs.
Sorry. If you guys could hold up the budget table and show it to the camera over here, that would be great. Thank you. Great, go ahead, sorry.
Okay. So we put $10 million towards single family home repairs, $20 million towards public services in order to provide more funding for childcare, education, healthcare, mental health included. We also need more youth services, which will help reduce the crime rate. We put $10 million towards public facilities, mostly for infrastructure to improve drainage system, to mitigate future damages, and further help maintain the homes. We also put $5 million towards multifamily homes for more affordable multifamily units for those who are unable to afford single-family homes, and the last $5 million towards homelessness in order to increase outreach.
Great, thank you so much, Group One.
Thank you.
We'll go to the next group. Catherine, this group, if y'all want to go ahead and share your, or report out.
We're actually going to have Mr. Kenneth here do our report for our group.
Awesome, great.
Good evening, everybody. So with our group, we put about 15 million into single-family homes. Although we did talk about building new homes, there was a greater emphasis on repairing homes for some of our senior citizens that live in the community, those that were impacted by natural disaster and so forth, and also reducing the complication around home buyer assistance programs. We dedicated about 10 million towards multifamily homes, which is, of course, creating affordability for apartments, those that want to live in the community, but of course, due to rent increases, they're not able to stay. We did allocate $5 million towards public services because we did want to create emphasis around youth services, childcare, so forth and so forth. I put 10 million towards public facilities in particular, because I'm new to District D in the sense of a first-time home buyer in the South Union area, and there's not adequate parks and infrastructure like bike trails and dog parks that are like, and that kind of thing. So really just putting a lot, and then also we spoke a lot around infrastructure. So like the electric grid around our community, we're always the last ones to get our power back on. There's a lot of flooding, a lot of trash, a lot of things of that nature. And then lastly, we dedicated about $10 million towards services for homelessness, in which we wanted to ask more questions around like what exact services or wraparound services will we provide those individuals, due to the fact that many of them are in that state for various reasons other than just they can't afford anything. Sometimes there's other barriers and challenges that they're dealing with. Did I cover it? What, my man? We did it? Okay.
Great, thank you so much. We'll move to the next group, Lindsay's group, if y'all want to report out.
Okay, for our group, we allocated $15 million for single-family homes. There is a concern that with the cost of building homes, that we need more money in this area to make sure that the homes are built quality and not just putting up anything. So we wanted to allocate 15 million toward that. Multifamily homes, we allocated 10 million for rental, affordable rental apartments for anyone who would like to live in those communities. Public services, we allocated $10 million, and the focus here was to allocate funds for more childcare as well as mental health services. That's the focus for the public services allocation. And also $5 million for public facilities. We'd like to see more community centers in areas where the need is there. And lastly, services for homelessness is about 10 million. We want to use this money not just to shuffle the homeless, but to specifically have places for them to actually go instead of just feeling like they're being shuffled around and not actually being housed. That concludes.
Thank you very much. And then finally, Brian's group.
All right, for our group, we selected $10 million for single family, primarily looking at trying to lower the cost of getting into a home. So home buyers assistance was very important to our group. Also allocated $5 million for multifamily, 10 million for public services with specific emphasis on the youth and mental health services. Public facilities, 15 million. And part of that, what we were looking for is potential of maybe opening up another shelter somewhere down the line for the homeless, as well as some infrastructure projects that's much needed within the area, and an additional $10 million for the homeless, to address the homelessness services.
Great, thank you so much. All right, this concludes the breakout activity portion of the meeting. Thank you everyone for your participation and engagement, and to all the volunteers as well. Thank you very much for leading the group discussion. I will now pass the mic to Deputy Director Derek Sellers for the public comment segment of the meeting.
Thanks, Alan. Okay, so at this time, we're going to move into the public hearing portion of the evening. And this is your opportunity to provide comments directly to us. As we move through into this portion, I do have a few ground rules that I just kind of want to convey out to you. Each speaker is going to be given 3 minutes to speak or to provide their testimony. We're going to have a timer on the screen to assist you in that 3-minute time. Just to be clear, this is not a Q&A session. It's a public comment session. However, based on your comment, we do have a lot of program experts on these tables and elsewhere in the room, so we may be able to help you afterwards based on the nature of your comment. When you came in the door, when you signed in, there was an opportunity for you to check whether you want to do a public comment or not, and I've compiled those names. What will happen is I'll call your name first and last and ask you to come to the, Andrea's got the mic. Andrea will bring you the mic, so just kind of wave your hand. And then, say your first name, last name, and then your 3 minutes will begin. Yielding time to another person is not allowed. So we want to hear directly from you, and we guarantee that if that person wants to speak, there will be time for them to speak as well. We will be recording and transcribing your testimony as part of our planning process, and then we'll have summaries that will be included in our final action plan that's submitted to HUD later in 2026. So at this time, we've noted that 2 people have signed up to speak this evening, and so we'll start there, and then I'll do kind of an open call behind that. The first person that indicated they wanted to speak was Monique Mason.
Yes, my name is Monique Mason, and the comment I wanted to make was when we were in our community voice session virtual, one of the individuals mentioned, and I thought it was very good, but however, that would have to be something that would have to be figured out financially. But she mentioned that we have a lot of empty buildings, hotels and warehouses around the Houston area, downtown and other surrounding areas, that can be utilized to house the homeless. And so for the comment, I thought that that was a very good idea. But however, there are more details probably involved in doing that.
Thank you, Ms. Mason. Next up, Jordan Scott.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jordan Scott. As Houston consistently ranks amongst the highest in the nation of human trafficking, survivors in our community face housing barriers because of financial exploitation, damaged credit, and identity theft. These issues make it almost impossible for them to get quality housing. As HCD prioritizes for the next year program, I'm asking that trafficking survivors be recognized as a vulnerable community and programs be directed towards safe housing and financial recovery service for trafficking survivors. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So those were the two people that indicated when they came in that they wanted to speak. Is there anybody else that would like to speak tonight? And if so, raise your hand and we'll have the mic. Just a reminder, please say your first name and last name for the record before you begin your comment.
My name is Yvonne Silva, and I have been very vocal about how homeowner associations have taken over our rights. And HUD has been extremely negligent in addressing that they are pushing for people to become homeowners while signing off their rights to get foreclosed on for less than value. And the Texas legislature has failed to address this time after time. Even though it's against our Texas Constitution, people are still losing their homes for pennies on the dollar because of nonprofit, unaccountable homeowner associations. The city of Houston is neglecting the development and writing, the citizens up, leaving the responsibility for homeowner associations, and you get taxed. You get taxed for the fine, you get taxed for the fee. They raise the fee without your permission. And now that the constables and the police are going to be privatizing this, if your neighborhood does not have money, then we don't get policing because we're not going to have extra police protection. That is discrimination at its finest. And HUD has continued to neglect that. Families are being left on the streets homeless because they are being jinxed by a contract, because this contract is not a two-way street. So, as I said, the Texas legislature has continuously ignored it. It is a systemic problem. If it was for fair market value, that would be one thing. And we still have not addressed all the aliens that are homeowners. What is going to happen to their equity? It is not fair to send people back home and take their equity from their homes. That is what the new America is about. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Silva.
My first name is An Ping. Last name is Yang. They call me AP. We form a new nonprofit called Young Homeowners League. And I'm proposing a new approach to build starter homes, 20,000 per year for the city of Houston. And I have the plan to do that. So the first part of the plan is focusing on generating small lots. $30,000 is enough to generate one lot, and that's less than the down payment assistance. So we focus the money in generating more lots, people can build the homes. Because you have construction loan, zero down to do the construction, so don't worry about construction. And the second part, all the high schools in Houston, students are looking for a job. They have CTE construction programs. They're learning construction. They like to build homes, but no jobs for them, right? So the second part of the proposal is give enough land, those laws to the schools so the students can help build homes, and also after they learn 1 year, they become paid as their own student-run company to build those homes. Now you have enough labor to build the homes. So those are two key components. And the third point is financial literacy education now starting in high school. Teach them about home ownership so they can start from high school, get job, work, take part in building those homes. So after they graduate, they can continue either part-time or full-time building those homes. And now they know they want to be homeowners. So they keep up working, saving, build up their credit. By the time they're 25 years old, they can get the mortgage or buy a home that they have built. So 90% of the high school students should be able to buy a home by age 25 if they start now and helping building those homes. And if we all help to generate enough small lots for all the schools and everybody help together to build enough homes. 20,000 new homes, start a home per year. That's the plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to speak?
Hi, my name is Sheila Turner, and I've actually been working in nonprofit development for over almost 30 years. So I've witnessed everything that we're talking about today through all kinds of different projects, programs, services, and everything. And all of them, all these programs and all these services are very important. And at different times, they are more important than others. They take different, like homelessness is a really big issue. Healthcare, what she was talking about with the trafficking, public facilities, because you need public facilities to provide services. And then you need affordable housing so that you can provide home ownership or apartments for those that cannot afford, that are low income. So I just wanted to say that, everything that Houston Housing and Community Development does is important, and HUD is important for all those that cannot make it, maybe not get the opportunities that other people do. So, workforce development, we start with that. You were talking about jobs. Jobs, if you look at this, all the industries that are coming to Houston or around Houston in the port area and everything, there's so many that people just don't know about it. The students don't know about it. And that's where education can come out and really work, because those are high paying jobs. When I was talking with the port region, they were talking about that students can start out if they have get their associates in high school, they can actually go into an immediate job making $80,000. That's in the port region. But there's so many things that if we all collectively got together and just talked about it and let people know about it, because people just don't know. And that's a lot of problem I see.
Thank you. Andrew, we got one in the back.
Hi, my name is Lisa Diaz. First, I want to thank the city for rolling out Harvey 2.0. That has had such a significant impact for residents, but particularly for the middle class. It's normally they've been left out of being able to purchase a home because of the AMI. So that is something, one of my first proposals, to see if maybe that y'all can do a continued increase with the AMI at 120%, because that's really helped them, people that have wanted to, not because of a lack of effort, but just because of the way the economy is, and has prevented them from purchasing a home, and they continue to be renters. So considering doing 120%, on a continued basis. Second, marrying not just affordability, but sustainability in housing, because we educate, we help them afford a house, but it's a sustainability, being able to, how do I maintain my house? How do I protest my property taxes? So maybe when you provide assistance, maybe to include wraparound services for the term 5, 8, 10 years throughout the term, and assist them with any kind of services, property tax protesting, how to make their house greener, how to protest their property taxes, how to gain access to how to repair their homes, how to do simple repairs like leaks, how to patch up a hole, things like that. Because once you teach them how to do these things, it'll help, I think, improve their overall health, mental, emotional, physical health, and just create a better environment for the person and their family as a whole.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? If you'd like to speak, just raise your hand. Okay, so at this time, we're just going to move into, we're getting close to closing out our agenda for the evening. I want to thank you all for spending your evening with us. The ideas, concerns, and perspectives you share tonight will directly guide how we prioritize, work, and shape our plans in the coming year. Your voices are not just welcomed, they're essential. I hope you've had opportunities, whether in these discussions and your feedback here or in conversations with people at the tables here, to learn more about what we do, but more importantly, to provide your feedback on what you think we should be doing. A heartfelt thank you to the incredible HCD team that's with us tonight. They're taking their time, their effort, their energy to be here, and I hope that comes across. They also poured a lot into planning and supporting both of our 2025 fall community meetings. And I also want to thank Councilmember Evan Shabazz for being here, her steadfast leadership and deep commitment to service. As we close, if you have any additional questions or need support, our staff will remain around here so you can ask them some of those questions maybe you've thought about throughout the evening. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one thought. Communities everywhere face challenges, but what makes this moment powerful is the willingness of its people to show up, listen, share, and work together. Your presence here tonight reflects a level of care and collective strength. It reminds us why this work matters and why we're doing it. I'm proud to work at HCD, and I know the people in the HCD are proud to work there as well. And most importantly, we're proud to show up every day to serve you. At this point, I'll turn it back over to Andrea to close us out.
I just would also like to reiterate those same sentiments that Deputy Director shared with us. It is very inspiring to see you guys come out on a weeknight in support of your community and to make your voices heard and known. We want to thank all the HCD staff who volunteered, who continuously show up for our community meetings and give their all, continuously willing to say, hey, whatever it is you need me to do, we'll help out where we can. So I want to thank all HCD staff. Two brief announcements. The first announcement is Connect with HCD. We are a brick and mortar at 2100 Travis Street, 9th floor. You can pop into the office if you need information or resources. We have a phone number listed on the screen, as well as our website at www.houstontx.gov/housing. And so, secondly, we want you to stay connected and stay informed. So meetings like tonight happen very frequently, and we also have programs or other activities that we do in the community. If you scan this QR code with your phone, you can sign up for our mailing list, and you will be notified whenever we have community meetings just like this one. I would also like to make another announcement and reiterate what Deputy Director Seller said. We do have our HCD staff members here who have programs and information that they'd love to share with you. If you want to stay, exchange information at your tables, network, and share resources, we also welcome you to do so. And again, thank you so much for coming out, and we will see you in the coming months.